So at this point, my jar is completely covered in Zentangle designs. Both the lid or cap and the lower half of the jar have Zentangles carved in. And I have since put my jar in a Ziploc bag with a damp sponge to still keep it in a healthy plastic state, to prep it for adding feet, which I'm about to discuss in a minute. So I've got a pretty large diameter that can hold either 3 or 4 feet. You decide what looks best. Just do a minimum of 3 feet. In the meantime, I want you to first start by making a knob. I'm not ready to attach the knob yet, but here's my spiral shaped kind of snail shell knob that I created from a coil. And I just want to see that it looks like it will fit atop the jar well, but I don't want to attach it yet or it will definitely get crushed when I add the feet. So I'm going to put the knob kind of on timeout. I'm going to put it off to the side or in a bag where some air can get to it. I need the knob to kind of toughen up a bit and set and firm up so that it'll be a little bit easier to attach later. So while the knob is sitting off to the side, now it's time to address the feet. You can do 3 or 4 individual feet, as you just saw a second ago, or you can do a coiled foot. The coiled foot should be the same thickness as your index finger. Right now, I'm deciding on where my 3 feet will go. I prefer to go with 3 individual feet, and I'm marking out those areas, 3 spots that will be equidistant and spaced far enough apart for visual balance and physical stability. You do not want the feet underneath your jar to be wobbly. Now, luckily, the top of my jar is flat. My lid is flat. It's a flat top, so I can flip it over and it'll be okay. I do want to cradle it a little bit in some fabric. So take some fabric and scrunch it up, make like a pillow effect. I would recommend putting a plastic bag in between the jar and the fabric, just so the fabric doesn't leave any marks on the clay. Now I'm just kind of double checking that I do like those 3 feet and that they are equidistant apart and that they're all matchy-matchy. But again, you have another option of a coiled foot if you prefer that instead. Again, think about stability and making sure that coiled foot won't be wobbly underneath your jar. You might need a large diameter for that coil. Maybe you can get away with a smaller ring, like a shorter ring, smaller diameter. Again, you decide, and once you're happy with that donut shape fat coil and the diameter of the ring, then you slip and score it. I'm instead choosing to go with 3 individual feet rather than a coiled foot as my preference. And you could go with 4 feet if you have enough clay and if you think that visually looks better. So I'm using my fork right now and some water. If you have slip made, use slip, but otherwise use water to slip and score the area where the feet are going to live. So I'm scoring up the bottom of the jar. You want to be pretty aggressive when you do that, especially if your clay's on the dry side. If your fork is too wimpy, use any other tool, even a toothpick or a paper clip. Any other tool should work. I'm here deciding to use a paper clip. That's working out better for me. Just make sure you do a cross hatching, or you can poke holes. Holes are another example of scoring. And of course, you're going to want to score the bottom of each foot. Definitely do cross hatching here as well. Crisscross applesauce, as they say. Tic-tac-toe style. And use slip, or what I call poor man's slip, aka water. That'll be fine too. Slip is better. And you have a little container that I put in your original kit for slip. Once you attach that first foot out of the 3 or 4 feet you're going to make, you want to apply a little bit of pressure and kind of give that foot a twist, almost like you're screwing on a screw cap. We're trying to create a Velcro-like effect. Do a final seal with water, just plain water, not slip. Just use plain water, kind of force out water under the foot. That will help it bond to the bottom of the jar and adhere to the bottom of the jar. And then it's just a matter of adding your additional feet. So I've done that here. I've edited that in. You don't want to put weight on those new feet just yet, or they will collapse. They will get crushed. So you're going to want the feet to be pointed up towards the ceiling a little bit. Just give them time to kind of firm up, set up, slightly dry up. And you can see I'm doing a final touch up here with a water sealant. Once I feel confident that my feet are more stable and I can put weight on them, that's when I will add my knob. And remember, my knob is already made. It's just kind of sitting off to the side, waiting to be added.